Hey GED students, it's GED question of the day time, and once again I'm talking about factors, which is part of the bigger concept of divisibility. And again, two reasons why I have such a passion for this topic. One, it'll better prepare you for all those math subjects students generally find so challenging. Division problems, fractions, factoring. If you understand divisibility, you won't struggle with any of those concepts. So that's one reason. Second reason is it could come up on the non-calculator section of your GED. So let's see, this says list all the factors of 15. And I will remind you that factors is a term you should know. A factor is a number that divides another number perfectly with no remainder. That's one way to think of it. Or another way to think of it is something you could multiply together to make 15. And that's probably the easier way that you can think of it here. So it's going to be whole numbers. Factors are always whole numbers that multiply together to make 15. Okay, so now a lot of students use what I call the think real hard about it method, and they think and they go, hey, I remember that 3 times 5 is 15, therefore 3 and 5 must be factors of 15. And they do that, and they're right, 3 and 5 are factors of 15, but they would still get this problem wrong because it says list all the factors of 15. They haven't thought of all the possibilities. So really super important, I like to use a method I call the factor rainbow. I have a whole full-length video on this. If you need it, you can go check it out. But just a basic synopsis, the rainbow always starts with the number 1 because all numbers are divisible by 1. And it always ends with the number 15. And that's a factor pair there, right there, because I know that 1 times 15 would make 15. And so it always starts in 1, and it always ends in the number itself because every number is divisible by itself. Okay, so that being said, you then go systematically through all the numbers here in order. You ask yourself, is 15, in this case, divisible by 2? Now, obviously, 15 is not divisible by 2. 2 is not a factor of 15 because 15 is odd. So after asking myself that question, I'll move on to 3. Is 15 divisible by 3? And of course it is. 3 times 5 is 15. And see how I put my smaller factor on this side, my larger factor on this side. My rainbow is closing in on itself. So now the only number between 3 and 5 is 4. So I can ask myself, is 15 divisible by 4? And that's kind of a silly question because of course it's not. If 15 wouldn't divide by 2, it's not going to divide by anything on the 2 times tables. And so now that I know that I've checked 4, I can be absolutely sure that I have all my factors because my rainbow's closed in on itself. The next number after 4 would be 5, and I already have a 5 on this list. So let me erase it so it doesn't look like 4 is one of my factors. And so all the factors of 15 are 1, 3, 5, and 15. 4 factors of 15. Awesome. If you have any questions about this or any other GED topic, be sure to drop it in the comments. And if 15 is kind of a simple example for this concept, I'd be surprised if it was this simple on the GED. So if you need practice with this concept, check out the full-length video that I have on finding all factors.